Hey everybody, I am Lucid Faith, and today I want to talk about an intro to the Botanist and Miner classes in Final Fantasy XIV. Let's jump in. Okay, so first off, for the Botanist, where do you become a Botanist? Now that is going to be in Black Shroud in Gridania, and that you're going to need to go to Old Gridania. And then in the northwestern part of this area is the Botanist Guild. That's where you're actually going to be starting it. You can do it from level 1, super easy to get started. Now, to become a miner, you need to go to Thanalan, you're going to need to go to Ul'dah, and then to the steppes of Thal. And then on the south of this area, you'll find the Miners Guild, and that's where you can become a miner. So now that you've started either the miner or the botanist, from here on out, the class itself acts the same exact way. Their actions are named differently. They all have the same exact functions, and the way they gather and search for new nodes is exactly the same. So we will be using the botanist as our example, but again, everything we discussed can be applied to the miner. Okay, so first thing, you now have your class equipped and you're going out into the world and you want to start gathering materials. Now, how do you do that? The first step is you're going to activate your triangulate ability. Now, whenever you switch to your botanist or your miner, it should automatically pop up. You'll be able to see that it's active in your buff bar. It says for botanists, you're able to locate mature trees and less vegetation. What does that actually mean? If you look on your mini map in the top right of your screen, you'll notice while I'm as a miner, I'll see a little yellow wheat stalks and blue wheat stalks looking icons. These are the different nodes that we're going to be able to harvest. Now, the difference between the two nodes is that the yellow node is going to be what you use your primary tool to harvest, and blue is going to be your secondary tool to harvest. But don't worry, as you level up, you'll get your secondary tool, and whenever you click on the node, it'll automatically pull out the correct tool for you. So, in practicality, doesn't matter. Once you have moved to one of your nodes, you'll see it here in the overworld. This is a level 10 mature tree, and it is nice and sparkly. That's how you know you're at the correct tree or whatever node you're at. Just go ahead and right click it and it'll bring up the harvest menu. In this case, it is our logging menu. Now, this gives us a list of a whole bunch of different items and materials that we can get from this node. Notice there are some empty spots. That happens every once in a while. You will come around to a node and they'll have different items at the different nodes. So you do want to explore, and you'll even find rare or hidden items as well that occasionally pop up as you're gathering. Now, if you look at this top crow feather, you'll see there's two percentage numbers. The top one is the percent chance that you will successfully gather something if you try to attempt the crow feather. The lower percentage number with the icon next to it is the high quality chance. So for this crow feather, every time I try to attempt to gather it, I have a 100% chance to get at least a normal quality item, and then I have a 15% chance for that normal quality item to become high quality. Now, for these two gathering classes, the miner and the botanist, you will have your own gathering stats that are important to your efforts. The first one is the gathering stat. This one directly affects your chance of getting an item at all. So this first big number here. The second stat that you want is perception. Now, this stat affects the percentage of getting a high quality item. So whenever you're looking at your gear, you'll notice that we do have gathering and perception on all of these pieces. Now, you'll also notice that down at the bottom of our screen, we have my HP bar and we have a GP bar. This GP bar is for gathering points. Now this is basically your resources for when you're actually trying to gather things in the wild. And it's basically your MP bar, but for gathering. Now, a few quick tips for actually gathering and using your actions to better your chances. Now, there do seem to be a few basic actions here that both the miner and botanist get that increases your base chance of getting an item at all. So by 5, 15, and then 50%, each one costing a little bit more GP to actually use. Honestly, I didn't use those too much unless I was going for an item that was a higher level than me that I needed for a quest. That's when it was really good. But the one that I used the most is Leaf Turn for the botanist, and for the miner, Unearth. So both of these abilities do the same thing, and that increases the high quality item chance by 10%. So if we were to actually put that into practice, if we click on this mature tree, I'll go ahead and use my leaf turn ability, and notice right now we're at a 15% chance for this high quality item. Hit this, we're now at a 25% chance for a high quality item. Now something that's cool is if you want to go ahead and do all of your gathering attempts at one time on one node, you can click to enable quick gathering. And if you click on that, it'll just keep gathering until you're completely out of gathering attempts. A super important tip is to use the sneak ability. This sneak ability allows you to avoid enemies that are up to 4 levels above you. So for example, I am level 33, so that means I will avoid aggressive enemies that are up to level 37, which means they just won't bother me as long as I have the sneak skill on. So to display that, there is a treant behind me who is level 36. I currently have my sneak skill on, and he does not care that I'm here. You know he is a dangerous monster because there's that red behind his icon up top. If I turn this off, he immediately targets me and tries to kill me. So definitely utilize the sneak skill. Now, one last tip to help you level up your gathering classes quickly, or crafting classes, go for all of them, Disciples of Hand and Disciples of Land, is to visit your Grand Company. The Grand Company is something you'll unlock as you proceed through the main quest scenario. As you do, you'll get, come down here to Duty and then go to Timers. You'll see this top one of whatever your Grand Company is. I'm part of the Twin Adder. If you click on that, it says Next Mission Allowance. And you have supply missions and provisioning missions. Basically, what they want you to do is somehow get one of these items on this list and turn it in. So it's either by actually crafting the item for the supply missions or gathering the item for the provisioning missions. So you can go out and gather those, but pro tip, you don't actually have to gather them yourselves. You can go to the market, buy whatever you need, then come back here and talk to your personnel officer, turn it in, and you will get a ton of experience points. Here, just for example, looks like I can turn in a boiled egg for my cooking skill. I can turn that in for 3 of those. You do want to trade in high quality items. That actually doubles the experience and seals you get when finishing them. You go ahead and hit yes, and it tells you here how much experience you're getting. Now, because my culinarian profession is level 3, it's a pretty terrible reward. It's only 800 experience. But you did that, boom, I'm now level 4, and I actually didn't do anything. I just had those eggs in my inventory. So that's cool. But you can see, so for some of this other stuff, let's go to provisioning. We can go to brimstone, 300,000 experience points for 10 brimstone. So if you bring them 10 high quality brimstone, you would get 600,000 experience points. And as a miner who's level 32, I only need 200,000 for the next level. So you'll easily get a level or 2 every time you complete one of these. So highly recommend also taking out your Grand Company missions for a quick experience. And that is it for my intro to Botanist and Miner. Now, I will most likely be doing further guides on the other cap crafting and gathering classes. In addition to that, once I eventually hit end game and I'm more knowledgeable about this subject, I'll probably be making advanced guides to each of these and actually how to use the skills properly. But until then, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And of course, I'm Lucid Faith. If you want to chat about this or anything else, I do stream on Twitch over at twitch.tv/lucidfaith every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, starting at 6 o'clock Central. Would love for you to come on by and say hi. But that's it for me. Hope you have a great one. And always remember that you matter. Bye for now.